Hello everyone. We're ready to do a math assignment. This week we're going to talk about the surface area. We've got to have a few things. One is the math formula sheet, Math 10 formula sheet. Same one you'd get on your exam. Has all the formulas you use in grade 10 math. And it's linked. It's linked to the site, our team site. So we have that. We've got an assignment sheet. This is where you're going to show the answers to your work. There's not enough room here to do the work, but there's room to show the answers. And as you'll see, surface area, that's what we're going to do this week. And next week we're going to look at volume. So you only have to fill in one of the two blanks this week. Well, a little lesson to start things out. When we deal with three-dimensional objects, we kind of have to break them down. Now here's an example. A cube's a three-dimensional object. And if we wanted to find the surface area, we'd have to break that into a net. A net just means you're cutting it apart, laying it out. So we're taking a three-dimensional object, making it into a two-dimensional object. Well, where do you use surface area? Well, I used to use it quite a lot when I was painting houses. If I wanted to paint a room inside a house, I'd figure out how tall the wall was and how long that wall was, and it would help me determine how much paint I needed to buy. So surface area is always about the outside. So let's say we were going to paint the surface of this cube. We'd have to know what the area was. So we've now broke it down into its net. Now this cube has 6 sides that are the same. All 6 of these are the same. So really, we would only have to find the surface area of one side, and we multiply it by 6. Now, what's the surface area formula? Area equals length times width, or base times height. Okay, well, let's just go on a little bit. There's lots of different nets for a cube. Look, there they. All those are nets for a cube. Doesn't matter which one you choose. They do the same thing. They show you that there's 6 sides that are the same. Well, what if this was the question? This isn't a cube. It's a rectangular prism, and we'd have to find the net. So here it is. We've cut it apart. Now, this side right here and this side are the same. So really, when I do this work, I've got to draw myself a little picture. And the dimensions show that it is 2 centimeters by 6 centimeters. Okay, the next side, this side and this side are the same. So let's draw it out. Just a little sketch. 2 centimeters by 3 centimeters. Okay. 2 centimeters by 3 centimeters. And the last 2 sides. These are just sketches. They don't have to be fancy. 6 centimeters and 3 centimeters. Now, this is how we're going to do every problem. That's why we can't do it right on the answer sheet. We have to do it on some loose leaf. So, the formula for each of these is area equals base times height. So, I don't have to write that down 3 times, so I'm just going to work across each time. And the first one, the base is 2, the height is 6, and that would equal 12 centimeters squared. Squared. It's 2-dimensional objects, so the answer is squared. When we do volume, it's a 3 dimensions, so it's going to be cubed. Now, did you notice? There are 2 of these shapes, 2 of them. So we can't just end it at 12 centimeters. We have to say, well, there's 2 of those. So 24 centimeters squared. Great. Let's do the same thing. Again, we're using the same formula, base times height. 3 times 2 equals 6 centimeters squared. How many of these are there? There are 2. Why don't you write that in? Because some objects are going to have maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 6, and then you won't get it wrong. And we'll multiply that by 2 because there's 2 of them. 12 centimeters squared. And the last one, Base is 3, height is 6, 18 centimeters squared. There are 2 of them, 36. Now, to get an answer, a final answer, surface area equals, we have to add them all up. 24 and 12 is 36. 36 and 36 is 72 centimeters squared. That's my final answer. Do you like it? I hope so. Okay. What if it was a cylinder and not just a rectangular prism? Same thing. We're going to find the net. There's the net. There are 2 of the circles, 2 circles, and when you take the center of a cylinder and you unroll it, it just becomes a rectangle. Easy, huh? Okay. Well, there's a couple things we need to know. First of all, in this question, it says the radius is 3 centimeters. In other words, it goes from the center to the outside is 3 centimeters. What's a radius? Distance from the center to the outside. What's a diameter? Diameter is all the way through. So if the radius is 3, the diameter would be 6. And the height is 8. So those are all things we're going to need, but there's a little bit of a curveball here. A couple things we need to know. I just told you, radius from the center to the outside, diameter all the way through. And here's another one, circumference. Circumference is the distance around the outside. Why is that important? You'll see in a minute. Oh, the formula for circumference is 2 pi r. 2 pi r. So 2 times pi, which is 3.14, times whatever the radius is. Or pi d. So pi, 3.14, times the diameter. Whichever you have the information for is the one you're going to use. Where did pi come from? 3.14? Well, it's just the circumference divided by the diameter of any circle. It's that simple. That's where they found it. Okay, on to that question. Well, we have 2 circles. And we have a rectangle, just one of them. Once it's rolled out, it's a rectangle. And we could look at our formula sheet and find the formula for a circle. Surface area. Area of a circle is pi r squared. Pi r squared. So 3.14. What's the radius? It's 3. We have to use our order of operations, bed mass. 3 squared is 9 times 3.14, and we get an answer. Great. Well, what about over here? That's just a rectangle. Normally, we'd like to say area equals base times height. Well, what is the height? Height is 8. Great. But what was the base? What was the base of this? We don't know. We don't know what it was. That's why we have to use our formula for circumference. Because circumference, remember, we took this and we unrolled it. And circumference formula is 2 pi r. All right, we can do that. 2 times 3.14 times the r, which is 3. Okay, great. Now, we'd have to use our calculator, but that comes to about 18. So I'm just going to say 18, because I don't have the actual number, 18 point something. Now we can put that into our formula in order to solve. All right? Okay, we're on the right track. But sometimes when you see the formula listed, they show it a little differently. 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. What's that? Well, It is the same thing. It's the same thing because we know that the area of a circle is pi r squared. And how many circles are there? There's two of them. That's where they get the 2 pi r squared. Well, where did they get the 2 pi r h? Well, wasn't the formula for circumference 2 pi r? Yeah. And times height, 2 pi r h. So, we could do it either way. But I wanted you to see there's a lot of different options when you're looking at your formula sheet. Use what you know, give it a try, check your answers.